She thought he was the one, the love of her life. But little did she know, one decision would change everything, leading to a heartbreak that no one saw coming. What happened next was beyond her wildest imagination, and the consequences were life-altering. Where are you watching from? Let us know in the comments, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more inspiring stories. Or please complete our 1,000 subscribers. Amy had been with Ryan for over 5 years. They met in college, both ambitious and hopeful about their futures. Ryan was the quiet, dependable type, exactly what Amy needed. They shared everything, from dreams of their future home to their hopes for a family. For Amy, Ryan was her rock. She never once doubted that he was the one she would spend her life with. They had their ups and downs, like any relationship, but they always managed to find their way back to each other. However, everything changed when Ryan met Emma. It all started innocently enough. Emma was new at the office where Ryan worked. She was younger, confident, and radiated a kind of energy that Amy couldn't help but notice. At first, it didn't raise any alarms. Amy trusted Ryan completely. She believed in the strength of their relationship, and she thought no one could come between them. But as the weeks went by, Ryan became more distant. He was less communicative, more irritable, and his once warm gestures started to fade. Amy tried to talk to him about it, but he brushed her off, saying he was just stressed with work. Amy, always the patient girlfriend, let it go. After all, relationships had their phases, didn't they? But the changes were too subtle to ignore. Ryan started coming home later and later, always citing work as the excuse. Then there were the strange calls, quick, whispering conversations where he would hang up the moment Amy entered the room. Amy's heart began to race with unease. She tried to dismiss it, telling herself that maybe she was just being paranoid, but the nagging feeling in her gut wouldn't go away. One evening, Amy decided to surprise Ryan at his office. She hadn't seen him all day, and her heart was desperate to find the man she once knew. As she pulled into the parking lot, her breath caught in her throat. There, under the soft glow of the streetlights, she saw Ryan standing with Emma, laughing and holding hands. Her heart shattered. She felt her legs give way, but somehow she managed to stay standing. She watched them for what felt like hours, her body frozen in disbelief. Ryan was the one person she thought would never hurt her, but there they were, together. A new beginning, one that didn't involve her. She didn't confront them that night. Instead, she went home, her thoughts a swirling storm. How could Ryan, the man who had promised to love her, betray her like this? The man who had told her he would always be there for her had just chosen another woman over her. And what hurt even more was the realization that Emma wasn't just another fling. She was someone who had taken Ryan's heart away completely. The next few days were filled with tension and silence. Ryan didn't even try to explain. He just packed his things, took a few of his belongings, and left. No apology, no remorse. He simply walked out of the door. Amy was left to piece together the wreckage of their relationship, questioning every memory, every laugh, every promise they'd made. But the story didn't end there. A few weeks later, Amy received an unexpected call. It was from Ryan. She didn't know whether to pick up the phone or throw it out of the window. But curiosity got the best of her. She answered. Ryan's voice was shaky, and for the first time in a long time, it sounded vulnerable. "I made a mistake, Amy," he said, his voice heavy with regret. "I thought I wanted something new, but now I realize I lost the best thing I ever had." Amy felt a strange mixture of anger, confusion, and sadness. She had heard that phrase before, from other people. They always realized too late what they had lost, and she had been the one left picking up the pieces. "I can't come back, Ryan," she said. her voice steady despite the tears she had been holding back. "You made your choice. You chose her over me. I don't know if I can ever trust you again." Ryan pleaded with her, telling her how much he regretted what he had done. But the damage had been done. She wasn't the same girl anymore. She couldn't go back to the life she had once imagined with him. Days turned into weeks, and Amy began to heal, slowly but surely. She surrounded herself with friends and family who loved her and reminded her of her worth. She focused on herself and rediscovered the things she loved: painting, long walks in the park, and reading books she hadn't touched in years. She realized that she didn't need Ryan to be happy. She was strong enough on her own. But Ryan's life wasn't going as smoothly as he had imagined. Emma, the woman he thought was his new love, was far from perfect. Their relationship was built on the instability of infatuation, not the deep, trusting love he had once shared with Amy. Over time, he began to see Emma's true colors. She was manipulative, selfish, and not as perfect as he had imagined. He called Amy again, but this time, it was different. "I made the biggest mistake of my life," Ryan said, sounding broken. "Can we try again? Please, I can't be with her anymore." Amy, though tempted by the idea of reconciliation, knew better than to go back to someone who had once walked away so easily. She had learned that some people only realize what they had when it's too late. And Amy? She was no longer willing to be anyone's second choice.